Hello and welcome to another installment of CR Wrestling Commentary. I'm your host, Cedric Kennedy, and I'll be answering viewers. One question today, so far anyway. This be coming from Alzanta, who asked the question and put it up on screen here. What is the best hardcore match did you watch? Now, I know what he means. What's the best hardcore match I've seen so far? I guess so far, or period, or ever, or whatnot. I'll be honest with you. I spent about 5 hours thinking about this while working on CR Fire Pro Amethyst Frost Week 2, which is rendering right now as I record this. I want you to know, okay, that I'm not a fan of hardcore wrestling at all. It buries professional wrestling. It buries it. I'm not a fan of death matches either. That buries the hardcore wrestling, which buries professional wrestling. I'm not anti hardcore or death matches. They just need to be used right, and they're not used right at all. But it took me a bit. So best answer I can possibly give. I watched the best match I saw, hardcore was done right, is ECW. They've had a lot of good hardcore matches. I'm gonna give it that. It didn't bury wrestling. Sometimes it didn't. And those sometimes made few and far between. So the best match I've seen was the team of Rob Van Dam and Sabu with Bill Alfonso versus the Dudley Boys at the time, Bubba Ray Dudley and Devon Dudley. And I think the Dudley family had been dissolved. They all kept their names, but just weren't the family. I think that's how this was at the time. It's been a while. This was like 97, 98. That match was good. It was professional wrestling. They involved chairs, tables, kendo sticks. Rob Van Dam and Sabu were they in general, their matches were hardcore. In general, hardcore is just simply when you use tables and chairs, but properly, effectively. You know, you use the furniture, not just pick it up and start using it. That's not how a hardcore match was ever meant to be. They picked their spots properly and decently. Sabu with the triple jump, not the moonsault. He does that. Yeah, he did that in the match. Every one of them got their shit in. But they did it at points they used wrestling, suplexes, punches, elbows, toe kicks, body slams, hammer throw, Irish whip. They did everything. They got their double team moves in. It was a brutal match. Back and forth. Not one team being better than the other. Both teams having their partners help each other out, get each other out of tough spots, perform moves, and trying to win. Now I'm afraid I can't tell you what event it was. It was just, for what I could tell, a regular show. It wasn't their pay-per-view. And I think it might have been on the heels of a pay-per-view, like a rematch, or maybe they just do some random stuff. But in terms of a hardcore match, that would be one of the best matches I've seen. I said another match up there was, and I might be getting it wrong. I really might, but I think Terry Funk versus Sabu or somebody versus Sabu, where Sabu jacked himself up by mistake, ripped his bicep open, had to tape it up, kept going. There was one where his jaw was broken. I didn't see that one. I saw clips from it, and it wasn't really broken. And if it was just weird. Because you get a broken jaw, you're not going to just wrap tape from one side of the jaw to the other. That's not going to hold it in place. That's not going to do anything. That's just not how that works. It just don't work that way. But at the time, people would believe it. You put some tape, you put tape on some thick old athletic tape from one side of your jawbone around the chin to the other side. And it's like he's trying to hold his jaw together. Okay, but in wrestling, you're going to take lots of hits. That tape means nothing. So, even then, without knowing anything about the business, I was like, I don't know, But yeah, those were some of the best ones. So yeah, I would say Rob Van Dam and Sabu versus the Dudley Boys was probably the best one. They've had quite a few matches together. It's just this one was very specific. It was I think it was about a 15 to 20 minute long match. Main event. That's all I can remember. I really man, let me get that back up. I really hope that answers your question and anyone else's. And I've seen the Hardys and stuff in WWE. I've seen that. I've seen Edge and Christian. I've seen a lot of people doing a lot of matches. I wouldn't call it a hardcore match. It's a ladder match. I wouldn't say TLC match. It's supposed to be hardcore, adopted from ECW, but they didn't call it that. But it was all right. Too stagey. ECW had a good way of not making it look stagey. It always looked like I'm gonna get you back for that. In WWF at the time, it looked, let's set each other up for this spot and hope that we don't get killed. So it takes a lot. So if you got any other questions, if you got multiple questions, throw them all down there in the comments section. That's all good. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I can give on this one. It took me a while to think about it, so it was a really good question, really good one. Yeah. All right. So that'll be it. It's been Cedric for CR Wrestling Commentary, answering viewer questions. Thank you for listening.